Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Every once in a while, a film captures philosophy in its most quintessential form, and The Joker does exactly that. This film is a masterpiece. It's superbly written, remarkably acted, and its dance with nihilism is beautiful. Put it this way, the edgelord king of nihilism himself, Friedrich Nietzsche, would have been displeased. But that's just because everything displeased him. What follows isn't a review of the film, though it will contain major spoilers. It isn't a commentary on the socio-political controversy surrounding it, though it will likely touch upon it, and it isn't an academic course on how to overcome nihilism, though it may interest you in one. What it is a light shone upon the nihilistic philosophy of the Joker and the most wonderful fruits that it yields. I look a mess, don't I? But then again, so do you. I'm Stephen Woodford, thanks for joining me, and this is the nihilism of the Joker. As an African proverb wisely states, the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And Arthur Joker Fleck, my fellow apes, is that child. Most believe the Joker to be motivated by moral nihilism. They see him as someone who's seen that the chalice of religious authority is empty, and that consequently all is merely a social contract, or one of which he refuses to sign. Now, this is arguably true of many depictions.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
But for the Joker of Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix, it's different. His nihilism is born less of intellectual observation and more of emotional abuse. Arthur is not a nihilist because he rejects the epistemological axioms of society. No, he's a nihilist because society has rejected him. And this, I would argue, is the primary cause for the enveloping controversy. For the first time, the Joker is terrifyingly relatable. He isn't some psychotic maniac on an arbitrary rampage of destruction, but rather a mentally ill, broken, abused, bullied, mistreated person with hopes and dreams. He's human, all too human. Arthur is simply someone who's been dealt a shit hand. His life sucks. He lives in a harsh city that's saturated with callous, mean people. He has no friends, no appreciation at work, and no recognition from society, who in fact refer to people like him as rats. He's heavily medicated until the rich retract his prescription. His spontaneous laughter, pseudo-bulba, makes it near impossible for him to connect with anyone. And the person he loves the most, his mother, turns out to have betrayed him in the worst of ways. But despite his own tragedy, Arthur sought to bring happiness to dying children, until he was fired, and his dream was to make the entire world happy through comedy. But again and again and again, he was denied the warmth of the village, and so he burnt it. When the world deals you a terrible hand, and then laughs in your face as you're forced to play it, what do you do? When your life is suffering and literally no one cares, how do you respond? When you try your best, but your best is not nearly good enough, what's the answer? For the Joker, for the nihilist, it's suicide or vengeance. And Arthur chose the former. He chose to end his own existence, as was made clear by him rehearsing doing as much on his sofa. But the universe, she chose the latter. Arthur shot Murray, delivering the joke, "What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? You get what you fucking deserve." To empathise with evil is taboo, but empathise we must. The Joker's lesson, so far as I see it, at least, is to deal more kindly with one another. We need to assume the best in people even when they refuse the same courtesy. That tramp who always seems drunk on the sidewalk, perhaps he's not. Perhaps he's suffered brain damage due to physical abuse, like Arthur. That woman who cut you up on the highway, perhaps she's rushing to pick up her 3 children from school because their dad is no longer around. That offensive arsehole in the comments who criticises my wonderful makeup and extravagant character. Perhaps he's bullied relentlessly in real life by those who ought to love him, and he needs this outlet before he explodes. To quote my favourite contemporary thinker, Sam Harris, consider it. Every person you have ever met, every person will suffer the loss of his friends and family. All are going to lose everything they love in this world. Why would one want to be anything but kind to them in the meantime? To nihilists like Arthur and myself, there is no ultimate meaning. We have no ultimate purpose. But to quote Nietzsche, those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. If you see someone without a why, become it. A little bit of kindness goes a very, very long way. Anyhow, I'm Stephen Woodford. This has been surprisingly fun, and as always, thank you kindly for the view, and an extra special thank you to my wonderful patrons and those of you who have supported the channel via other means. Thank you. Should be a makeup artist.
Definitely not. I can't even do my own makeup. Have you never seen my eyebrows?
Show them your makeup.
I haven't got any on.
No, look, they can see your makeup. I'll tell you what, dressing up really helps one get into character. I can totally see why ContraPoints, Philosophy Tube and Sargon do it.